Hey guys, this is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review, and what I'm gonna say is I've been watching a lot of my earlier videos, and I know the quality is pretty bad, but I do want to go back to making these videos maybe a little shorter, not have them be so long. If I can, keep it at 30-40 minutes tops, or 45 minutes tops, because, doing movies that I have not seen in a while, even though I know these movies pretty well, I mainly know the general outline, and I feel like a fool being on here, trying to rush things and, gab my way along and, basically fly by the seat of my pants, which, isn't very fun, but I'm doing what I can regardless, nonetheless. But honestly, what I'm going to try to do is do what I can with what I'm available to do, and I'm just going to go about it that way. So, I'm going to just try to make these shorter, talk about the cast, talk about a brief viewing of what this movie's about, what I feel about the film, and why you guys should probably see it or maybe not see it, all those various things and the sort. And we are continuing with the Lethal Weapon series because we are not done. We have 2 more to go. I know it's like, thank God, some of these series are going to be very long when I give them to you. I mean, like, some long series are good, others, yeah, maybe not so much. But hey, it's what we have to deal with and all that. So, hey. Let's see here, just to make sure. Oh, we go, because like I said, oh, yeah, excuse me there. And like I said, side thing is I also am going to do this with TV shows. Not every TV show I'm going to do an episode of, but certain TV shows that I think are in the high tier, I'm going to do like full episodes and things of, just like really cool and really great. Some will be longer, some will be not that long, but hey, that's how we'll go about it now. And I'm still going to do my ending like I did at the end of Lethal Weapon 2 or Lethal Weapon 1. I forgot where I started it, but I'm still going to do that at the end, so just to know, be warning, I don't care if a lot of you stop watching my videos, it's what I'm going to do because that's how I feel, and I'm going to keep it up. So, hey. And this time we are going to do, sorry again, Lethal Weapon 3, as you see right there. Get that in shot. Yeah, Lethal Weapon 3. And as you see with Joe Pesci written in there since he's part of the main cast and continuing. And Lethal Weapon 3 is a film that was done in, let's see, I think it said, what was it, 1992, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it says on all their things here. Hold on here. I know it usually says. Wow, it actually doesn't give it for once. Yeah. Okay, it actually doesn't give it for once. I'm shocked, but I believe I have it here. Let's see here. Yeah, 19. Let me make sure to cross-reference it. Yep, 1992 is when Lethal Weapon 3 came out. This movie came out. This one right here. Remember this one right here. Lethal Weapon 3 is when it came out. 1992 is when Lethal Weapon 3 came out. And it's a continuation of the series. And it still stars, let's see. I know I should remember. I mean, I've seen these movies well enough. But yeah, sorry, my mind blanks sometimes. And I admit I probably get a little nervous talking to folks. Because I know some folks may see this. I know not a whole lot of folks, but I know some folks may see this. And I appreciate you guys watching more too on the side. I really do appreciate you guys watching more because I know more people have been viewing it. And hey, for those who are viewing longer than a few seconds, thumbs up. Thumbs up. But it stars Mel Gibson, who still plays Martin Riggs. And in this one, Mel Gibson is still the same cop. He's still pretty young, brash, bodacious, still the fun-loving guy. He, still claims to be happy in the single life. He's got Roger as a friend. He's got a lot of great things going for him. And, just a great loving guy, doesn't crack down on villainy or whatnot, and doesn't make big, huge things about it, which is what I love. And basically, still the same character, does whatever he can to get the bad guys. He does whatever he needs to do, and, he's got that wild side to him. And what's not more to love about that? And other than that, because I can't go into more till we get into another character, because she's well connected with Riggs in this one. But we have, let's see, what's the one thing I can mention with Riggs in this one? Oh yes, Riggs is going to be building an addition onto his house, because he still lives in his trailer, but is actually building a home or manufactured type home onto his trailer to make his place bigger for himself and whatever else, because I guess who wouldn't want more room after a while. So hey, all that great stuff and all that jazz, but that's where we're at. And we also have, let's see, again, Danny Glover playing Roger Murtaugh. And Roger Murtaugh is still, by this third movie, again, he's contemplating retirement and also possibly selling his house, because, it's the family thinks the house is, getting a little old, or he thinks that. I forget if it's his family or himself as well, but maybe the kids and his wife Tracy Wolf, who I think is whose name I think is, what is it? I don't know if it's Darlene Love or maybe that's. Oh wait, no, that's the actress. Darlene Love is the actress who plays her, but it's Trish Murtaugh. Trish maybe against it, as is some of his family, I think. But you got everybody else doing their thing. He wants to sell the house and maybe move. Plus, also, there's a part of this movie where he's with Riggs, still trying to keep Riggs out of trouble, keep him from doing bad things and whatnot. But he's staying, right with him, helping him out the best way that he can. What he also does as well is he sees that his son, I think he only has, if I remember, he only has one son. Hold on, let me. This is why I like also queuing up castings, because I like, Oh yes, Nick Murtaugh, played by Damon Hines, and we see that his son Nick is possibly getting into some trouble. He doesn't know what's going on, but Tracy, I think, mentions something to Roger. Roger goes, tries to investigate, and this film, what it's about too, is about somebody selling guns to people, also moving drugs across the city, but this person is also selling guns to kids, and what happens is Riggs and Murtaugh go to check out a poor part of town. I think it's at an old railroad or something, if I remember correctly. But they're checking out this area, and all of a sudden, a gun starts going off. Guy starts firing this Uzi. Riggs and Murtaugh take shots. There's this one unknown guy that they kill, and Riggs and Murtaugh are still firing at the guy from inside. So the last guy gets shot too, and then we see him fall out, and then all of a sudden we see Murtaugh get shocked like that, he goes, wait a minute, I know this boy. And what happens is we have Murtaugh find out that he shot Nick's friend Tyrone, because I guess Tyrone and Nick were longtime friends, and Murtaugh and Roger and Trish Murtaugh knew that Nick's friend Tyrone was getting into big trouble, and he was hanging out with gangs, and they were trying to wean Nick away from him, and also possibly wean Tyrone away from him unsuccessfully. And what happens is Murtaugh shoots this kid Tyrone, and he's upset by it. He's not happy about it. He's like, I've known this kid for like a long time. I can't believe what I've done. He takes big guilt for it. When you know a friend or a family member and you can be a cop or a soldier and you accidentally shoot someone like, yes, sometimes they could be shooting at you and you have to defend yourself, but it's still a huge blow when you know the person, personally. And I can get what Richard Donner was getting with that in directing this type of film. There's also a part where I think Murtaugh meets the family, Tyrone's family, and he apologizes for it. And I think once again in these films and this type of stuff happens, Murtaugh I think got slapped or he got talked down to, one of the two. Sorry guys, just having some water there, but yeah, that happened, and Murtaugh takes it personally to bring the criminals to justice who are getting these guns in the hands of kids. And, Riggs goes along with them, obviously, and, they do what they can to stop these guys. We also have Joe Pesci, who plays Leo Getz. And for some reason, Leo Getz, his hair, like Joe Pesci had his hair dyed blonde. I don't know why. It looks weird to me. I think Joe Pesci looks better in his natural black hair, but, his hair was dyed blonde in this one. Don't know why. Don't get it. I mean, he still makes it look good, but it's like you look better with black hair, Joe Pesci. Always keep it black, okay? Or brown, whatever it could be. But, Leo Getz is back. Leo Getz is also a realtor in this one, finally. And he's finally trying to do some honest work. He does still do some shady deals and all these different things with which Riggs and Murtaugh call Leo out on, and Leo always does his classic, okay, I get it, okay, and he does that with them, and gets annoyed with them in the classic, cussing, swearing, Joe Pesci fashion. And he's also trying to sell, Murtaugh's house, which, he goes throughout the film, like how he has certain families see in the house that he's trying to sell, and I guess in sometimes, you have like Murtaugh and, the Murtaugh family playing jokes on Leo when Leo's trying to bring people in to view the home as they're still there, and, they're making a ruckus and, like, joking around with him, which gets Leo mad. And Leo tries throughout this entire film to sell their home, to right at the very end when everything's been resolved, you have Roger go, Leo, we're staying in the house, we're not moving, I'm not signing the papers, we're going to be here for another 20 years, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And, Leo's, like, trying to sign it, and Trish pushes, Leo out so she can, kiss and possibly even make out with Roger, but hey. So there's that. But also, what Leo is detrimental to in this movie is he helps Riggs and Murtaugh find out about the criminals again. Like he sees like some of the case they're reviewing about the guns and the drugs, and he says, "Hey, I know that guy. I can help you find that guy." And he goes with them because he knows where the guy hangs out. Like they find out that this criminal they're chasing is actually at a hockey game, and he's watching. I think. Because I forget those. I think this movie takes place again in L.A. And I think they're going to see the L.A. Kings or the L.A. Penguins. I forget which hockey team it could be. Maybe it was even one of the indie teams in Los Angeles. But I know they're at a hockey game. Riggs, Murtaugh, and Leo are trying to track this criminal down. All of a sudden, Leo finds him. Leo's yelling at Riggs and Murtaugh. He knows where he is. This guy starts taking off. Leo actually jumps from a pretty high position in the ice rink, bleachers, and he jumps down, gets on top of him. He's wrestling with the guy, saying, "You have a right to remain silent," and all that stuff. Like, it's actually funny to hear Joe Pesci say and do. And as Joe Pesci is struggling with this guy, Joe Pesci gets, like, shot in the shoulder. And so he's injured, and they actually, like, take him into the hospital. Like, Riggs and Murtaugh, I think it's more Riggs than Murtaugh. They play a cruel joke on Leo. Like I think Riggs puts um uh yeah, Leo down for a lobotomy, where like not only is he getting his shoulder checked out, but he's all, I think he had something put in front of either his penis or his ass, because like he's embarrassed about what it says, and he's like saying, I don't know what kind of things they have in the doctors, but they tried giving me a lobotomy for whatever reason, and he was afraid to say he's like a lobotomy, and they're like, what, a lobotomy, they went down there, and I don't know why they did that for a shot shoulder. And they go on to that. Plus, like Leo helps them get more information on the criminal as he shows up, I think, in a red Corvette or whichever car. It was a nice sports car or utility car or like a luxury car of some sort. And is Leo's trying to go with Roger Murtaugh and Martin Riggs. Riggs and Murtaugh shoot out his tires so he can't go with them, and he's like, "Oh, that's just great. That's just great. Thanks, pal. This was a new car. Why could you guys do that?" So, it's great that Leo was still involved in this movie. Pretty well in usual ways. So, great stuff by Joe Pesci for this film. There's also a new character introduced with Jazz. She's not on the back here, but Renee Russo was added to these films where she plays. Let's see here. She plays Renee Russo. Oh yeah, Lorna Cole. That's her name, Lorna Cole. Where she, I forget what she is exactly, but she's either FBI or DEA because she's trying to look into these criminal activities to find out what they can do and what they could use. And, she shows up with Roger Murtaugh and Riggs trying to get in their way, saying this is her investigation, or I'm watching you guys, you can't do these types of things, I'm in control. And, they give her a hard time, especially Riggs gives her a hard time, and, they bounce off each other quite a bit. And, she seems like this hard agent. And what we learn is that there's a scene in the film where I think, it's this part where Riggs goes undercover and he's tracking this one body workshop to where, he's, going after these one guys to where he also runs into a pit bull who he somehow trains and befriends, and this pit bull and him are friends. Plus, I should mention his original dog, that collie dog he has, Sam, is still alive and well at this point, and his collie dog Sam and this pit bull he finds and befriends, become his dog as well. And overly, also besides when he gets the dog, Lorna Cole, shows up at this place, and both he and her are holding these guys up, and like nothing's happening, but they're questioning, I think, one of the grease monkeys who are there because he works for the criminal. And what happens is that there's a shootout and a bit of a fight, and they both escape this body shop to where, I think they had like a close call. I don't know if they got wet or they got like beat up a little bit, but there's a point where she takes Riggs back to her place, and Riggs, while she's showering, Riggs is looking her over, and Riggs finds out that, she's just like him. She's a tough person. She does whatever she can to get the job done. She's got a good sense of humor. She has like a lot of accomplishments that Riggs has. She loves the Three Stooges as well, like Riggs, and is a good fan of comedy and is a bit of a jokester herself. So they develop a relationship, and it basically goes from there into four, where they fall madly in love with each other and realize as much as they had opposites, they have a lot of stuff together as well. There is also, let's see, oh yes, Stuart Wilson. Stuart Wilson definitely was an early 90s and 80s actor. I don't know what else Stuart Wilson has really done. I only know him from maybe like, I think, a few TV shows and this movie. He plays Jack Travis, who is a former cop who basically got discharged from the police force, but nobody knows for sure because he actually kept all his old IDs and, or no, he didn't get discharged. He went rogue. because I think they say in the movie he killed his partner or something he was with, and he disappeared. Nobody knows exactly what happened to Jack Travis, and he went rogue and disappeared completely. Nobody find out, not their captain, not anyone else, so they never knew for sure what took place. But Jack Travis is using his old police contacts and his power to basically move guns, what they also call cop killers, because something where like a really big hollowed out sharp pointed bullet could go through a vest, a police, body armor vest, and kill a cop or a soldier, whatever they wanted to do. He was selling that to kids and people on the street, and he was also, once again dealing drugs, and he was like doing it all out of this construction site where they were building a subdivision with his partners. And all in all, what happens is there's this point in the film where Riggs and Murtaugh, bust this one guy that they're looking at. I think they killed the other and they bust the other dude. They throw him in jail and he's about to be interrogated. And what happens no, the other guy got away. So they busted one guy and the other dude he was with, I think his name was, not Billy, his name was like Ted or something. He got away and Billy was the one that got arrested. And this guy, Ted, like, Jack Travis is talking to like one of his partners as they're building the subdivision, and Ted, he like questions him saying, you screwed up, and hey, no worries, it happens. And what happens is he hits Ted behind the head with a gun. Ted falls into a foundation they're laying cement in, and he falls into partial cement. He's trying to regain his senses and get out, but what happens is they immediately pour cement on this poor guy Ted, and Ted is being covered in this cement and like buried alive in it, and he basically gets buried in the cement, and they kill him that way. So that was a pretty gruesome scene. Plus, after Ted's dead, Jack Travis takes it upon himself to use his old contacts to get into the police station. He uses some ID and stuff like that, and gets past all the cameras, and like he's on screen. He's not trying to be made well noticed, but he gets past all the cops. And you think for a cop who disappeared or went rogue, they'd have some sort of a thing looking for this dude. So that's always the one thing I've questioned about this movie is it's cool how Jack Travis can use his old contacts and knowledge of the police to get past things, but you think someone would have had something out on Jack Travis. But again, if Jack Travis was caught or killed easily, we wouldn't have had a movie to go on because Jack Travis is the main villain. And as we go, it continues on, and they're getting closer to Jack. Jack, like I said, Jack Travis is the criminal they were chasing at the hockey rink. Jack Travis gets away at the hockey rink. He sends men, of course, as always, out to basically kill Riggs and Murtaugh. Riggs and Murtaugh get away. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. I will be back. Right, I'm back, guys. And so Jack, Jack Travis does all that type of stuff. Plus, Jack Travis actually breaks in to the police station to actually like steal weaponry and also break into the contraband and confiscated vault to steal more cop killers and things like that. And he actually kidnaps the police chief to do it. And there's actually this rescue scene where they're trying to rescue the chief and everything in an underground railroad. And what happens is there's actually the scene where a young rookie cop who just had his birthday wants to go with Riggs and Murtaugh because he idolizes Riggs and Murtaugh. We see him a little bit in this movie, like he respects them a lot and he wants to go with them. Riggs and Murtaugh say okay, so this young cop goes with them, and like in the shootout, he sadly gets shot by Jack Travis. Riggs discovers it's a cop killer that shot him, so it's shot right through his bulletproof vest that he was wearing, and he's dying there, and as he died, Riggs basically goes, happy birthday kid, and they go off chasing after Jack Travis. And I think shortly after that, they take one final fight against Jack Travis. They head to his, like I said, that subdivision he was building, the compound, and there's the classic shootout with all the guys, and like Lorna's there, Riggs, Murtaugh. They're all getting together to take all these guys out, using anything at their disposal. The guys give them a hard time, but they take everybody out, and I think again, like, I don't know if it's one of the henchmen, but I think it was also Jack Travis who shot Lorna. He basically wounds Lorna. Riggs gets Lorna out of the way. They're started declaring a quick love for each other. And what happens is there's a chase scene where I think Jack Travis gets on a bulldozer and he's trying to like bulldoze Riggs, and he keeps saying, you're a disgrace to the department, Riggs. I'm going to do away with you. A person like you will never make it far as a cop, and you won't make it further because I'm about to kill you. And as they're fighting, I forget what happens, but I think he was on a forklift or something, and I think oh yeah, there was a nail gun, so Jack Travis was trying to kill Riggs with a forklift, and what happens is Riggs took the nail gun and I think at a quick moment shot Jack Travis with the nail gun, I think 3 times in the chest, killing him. And no better fitting ending to a villain with that. And I thought that was pretty cool. So that was the villain of the movie. And there were some pretty good stunts in this movie, like the fight at the subdivision was really cool, using all the construction equipment or running throughout the buildings. A lot of cool moments. All characters for those played their roles. Rene Russo was really good. Danny Glover, Mel Gibson, obviously fantastic. Joe Pesci was good in those scenes too. I was shocked when I saw this film that he actually helps Riggs and Murtaugh track down and chase down Jack Travis. And as well, there's one scene that's really good in this movie where I think, there's a fight where there's a big chase in a car scene where on a freeway, they take out some goons on a freeway in a car, and then they're also like Riggs is fighting one of the goons in a manufactured home, and they're fighting, it's still not fully built, but they're fighting this guy, tearing it all through the manufactured home. There's a part where the plastic comes off the home, and Riggs and Murtaugh and Riggs is dragging with it, and he's dragging the guy with him, and they're fighting each other on this very thin piece of plastic and board that Riggs and the guy are on. He kicks the guy off. The guy basically gets killed on the freeway, run over by another car, I think. And then the last guy, as they're getting to the end of the chase, this one guy basically gets away. Riggs and Murtaugh are doing their best to catch up because Murtaugh was thankfully able to save Riggs, and then the guy gets bulldozed by another truck coming on. Give me another moment here, guys. Hold on, Hawk. And I'm back again, guys. And so a lot of cool stunts in the film, and good stuff as always. Let's see. I think great score again by Michael Kamen, Eric Clapton, and David David Sanborn. Really good music again. Great stuff. Thrilling things as always. Great for the 1980s, early 90s that they made these films, and even mid 90s, because the fourth one was made in 97. And and when I get to that one, I can't wait to talk about it, because Lethal Weapon 4 is actually my favorite in the entire series. Let's see. And as we and let's see, what else is there to mention? Well, in final saying too, the story for this one was okay. It wasn't as good as 1 or 2. One was a great story as an introduction to everything to this, and a good action film just overall. Two really heightened everything and put everything in a great imminent danger. That was awesome and just cool to see. 3 was it was good, but it was middling to meh, because, I mean, and I don't want to say it was because of the story, like the things with the drugs and the cop killers. That's always an interesting thing to talk about. But I think it was because of, like, Jack Travis. Like, I don't know if it was because of Stuart Wilson's performance or if it was just that the way that Jack Travis was written. Because this one was written by, let's see, because I forgot. Was it always? Oh no, that's, well, no, that's right. Yeah, like, so yeah, it was Jeffrey Bone who did the story, and Jeffrey Bone and Robert Mark Common did the screenplay. So for the story and screenplay, I don't know if it was because of that, but this one just felt meh. It didn't feel as good as it could have been, and I mean, it could have been a great film, and I mean, it's still good, but it's in the last section of the Lethal Weapon anthology because, I don't know why. It just it's weird. It really is weird to me. I don't get it. Don't fully understand it, but hey, that's me. So Fiddle TD. um and let's see here. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it because I'm trying to think of things, and I think I mentioned like all the good stunts, all the great stuff. Once again, great directing by Richard Donner. Great producing by Joel Silver. Another good film to be in the series, even though, like I said, maybe it was because of the villain or just the story wasn't as strong. But yeah, three's the last one in the tier for me. Tier for me. I don't know why, and I figured I'd give a like rating because not and I'll give you guys Rotten Tomatoes trademark, saying that I'm using Rotten Tomatoes, and I quote from their website Rotten Tomatoes that the audience score and critics score is 61% for both critics and for fans. And with what we have here, let's see. Yeah, because it gives a critics consensus, and I will quote from, once again, RottenTomatoes.com. Murtaugh and Riggs remain an appealing partnership, but Lethal Weapon 3 struggles to give them a worthy new adventure as it cranks up the camp along with the mean-spiritedness. Well, I don't. The camp was the same as all the other three movies, like the one that precedes it and the two before it. Like, so, the camp is the same, but mean-spiritedness, what the hell does that mean? Honestly, I have no idea what the hell they're talking about with that. I don't get what that means at all. This is why I think I'll also start, like, doing it, and I'm going to see, and I'll check these things over time to see if they'll ever change over the years, and all that good stuff. But let's see here. See if we got anything that we can add to it. Oh yeah, like they use like there's a lot of other critics reading the critics here where they're saying it's just all about explosions. You also have people just like really hinting that this film tacks on the cinematic violence, and I'm like, we really have become such a social justice warrior people because holy crap. It's an action movie from the 80s. If this is like this, I can't wait to see like if I get any of the Transporter movies or if I get Crank 1 and 2 or if I, like I can't wait to see what the John Wicks look like or the current James Bonds because holy crap, people are just like, oh, cinematic. The critics are just like, oh, cinematic violence. Oh God, considering how Lethal Weapon 3 is, and you see how the John Wick movies are, or maybe some of the other action movies that they somewhat do, because action movies are not really a thing anymore. But when you see some of the stuff that is done now, Yeah, you guys, like, holy crap, that needs to stop. Because if we're okay showing countless amounts of sex and violence on certain TV shows and movies nowadays, what the hell is this about? I'm telling you, this is why. This is why classic films like this is why I'll still give Lethal Weapon 3 credit. In a time where we could be risk, and risk was not hated upon. Entertainment, folks. Who cares? These are action films. Action films. Sometimes they're not meant to be taken so seriously. You know, there's a part I'll mention right now that in Lethal Weapon 4, Richard Donner says on the commentary, he does these movies, but he is an anti-gun guy. He is against the NRA and all that stuff. He doesn't like guns, but yet he makes these films. Yes, we can call him a hypocrite, but he knows this is entertainment. Yes, he puts little things about it, and I think that's what he mentions in 3. That's why he focused on the cop killers, because he wanted to show how dangerous guns could be. Okay, cool, but sometimes I don't mind those digs, sometimes I do, but still, Richard Donner, who was against guns, made all 4 of these movies. So, he knows how to entertain, Richard Donner. Great, awesome. So, what did you guys think of this movie? Do you like Lethal Weapon 3? Was it yours? Are you guys the same as me, thinking, it's the last one in the tier? Do you not like the movie at all? Do you think they should have just went right to Lethal Weapon 4 instead? But I mean, once again, if we went right to Lethal Weapon 4, we may have not have had the same outcome with Lorna Cole, Rene Russo's character, who I thought was a nice addition, and they even do it further in Lethal Weapon 4. But, let me know what you guys think of this. Sorry, I know it's possibly playing. I still have my Christmas decorations up, and my Christmas clock is playing right now if you hear that, so I apologize, but hey. But, just let me know what you guys think of Lethal Weapon 3, and if you liked it, leave a comment down below. I always like getting comments from you guys if any of you want to comment, but, hey, it is what it is. But until then, this is 012 Boku coming at you with another movie review, and I will see you guys later. And finally again, fuck Joe Biden. Fuck him long, fuck him good. Deuces.